This is Ready Set Reiki, a podcast about Reiki and all energy work, from the curious beginner to the seasoned master teacher, welcoming all systems, all lineages, and all levels. Reiki is a journey and not a destination. And on this Ready Set Reiki journey, I refer to myself as a guide. So I'm Tracy C. Wright, and this is Ready Set Reiki. Hello, my beautiful listeners. Welcome, Ready, Set, Reiki. So today on my journey, I have May Dong. Now, she is a Reiki healer, level 2, intuitive guide, sound healer, and she's based in Montreal. Now, she discovered Reiki in 2018 while working in the corporate world at very top wellness companies. Now, this set her on a transformational journey. Now, after leaving behind her pre med studies and a fast paced career in sales and e commerce, she embraced her calling as a holistic health coach. Now, she is passionate about corporate health and she envisions building a comprehensive wellness company that brings holistic well being into the workplace while empowering and supporting fellow wellness professionals. For now, she offers Reiki and intuitive guidance at Vivewell Loft through sound and aromatherapy circles, as well as virtual sessions, taking it one step at a time. May, welcome to Ready, Set, Reiki.
Oh my goodness. I wish there was like clapping sound effects. Like the the way you presented my story and what I do is like wow. And if you
Very
see me reaching my hand out here, my kitten's just beside me, so I'm just petting him.
very good, very good. Well, welcome to Ready Set Reiki. And animals really, love, many of them love Reiki. So of course, when we have the podcast, certainly mine are in attendance. So let's begin our journey together. So what a fascinating journey that you've had from corporate world to becoming a holistic coach. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, although I'm currently living in Montreal. I moved out here almost 2 years ago. I'm originally from Vancouver, BC, which is West Coast Canada, and I never thought I'd be where I am today. I clearly you can see I come from an Asian background. I am half Vietnamese, half Filipino, and I was just always like from a young age, I was just always on this set path. Like, yes, I am going to be this perfect daughter that goes to med school and just fulfills my parents' wishes for me. And up until the age of 19, that was exactly what I was doing until I sort of felt like, I started gaining awareness of like, hey, I don't think this path is exactly for me, but I didn't know anything else. But it was like the first time in my life in university where I followed my intuition. I'm like, okay, I'm going to drop my studies. Um, I went to Vietnam to travel for a few months. And when I came back, it was kind of somewhat of like a rebirth because growing up, I was, again, bringing up the Asian upbringing, I was extremely shy and quiet. Like, even the way I talk now, sometimes I'm like, who this?
Wow, amazing, amazing. So, we're here talking about Reiki. So, when did Reiki come into your life? Did you find Reiki or did it find you?
Yeah, to kind of continue my story post trip from Vietnam, I came back to Vancouver and I just dived straight into corporate sales. I was working at top wellness companies at that time, Be Half Moon, Lululemon, Herbaland, and I just felt very kind of how pre-med became my personality. But working in corporate at these top companies became my personality, and I never felt like I had space to
Mm.
just be, to just chill out. Um, Even at that time, I kind of like, I wouldn't say completely isolated myself from friends, but it was just like the circle of friends I had at that time is just those catch up friends. Like, we're not really living together, like doing life together. So I lived in downtown Vancouver at the time, and this wellness and meditation studio opened up. And I was like, cool, that sounds like yogi, that sounds chill. Let's try it out. And at the studio, they happened to do Reiki. And I'm like, what is this? Like, Um, So it's kind of funny. Before I worked in corporate in these wellness companies, I always thought like yoga or anything to do with like meditation, like, yo, that's so woo woo. That's not for me. Like I grew up Buddhist and Catholic, but lean more towards the Buddhism side. But anything beyond Buddhism, like meditation and yoga, I'm like, no, that's not for me. But I think it was just it's my intuition. It's like, yo, this is good for you. Just relax into it and see what it can do. And yeah, I don't even know how to describe it for people that haven't experienced Reiki. It just helped me become aware of my body for the first time in my life.
Beautiful.
And like it was kind of synonymous with my plant medicine journey. I started around like my very, I think I was like 19 or 20, like very like super young at that time, and it just aided my journey to being more in my body and feeling my emotions more, and kind of not turning my job into my personality, if that makes sense.
It does. It does. Well, you've been doing Reiki for a few years now. So, as you're out navigating through this wonderful, relaxing modality, what are some of the misconceptions that you're finding about Reiki?
Not necessarily misconceptions, but they don't necessarily know what it is,
Mm,
or probably like I meet people that remind me of my younger self. It's like it just seems too woo woo. But
right.
on the flip side, there's I'm surprised with clients I meet. They know exactly what Reiki is. They've gone to sessions before. They've had a Reiki healer before, and not I'm not sure about um, other locations in North America, and here in Montreal we can technically provide insurance receipts
Mhm.
for Reiki, but you have to be a naturopath.
Mm,
So I'm like, I too am more curious about like how Reiki be can kind of become on an equal playing level as like massage, chiropractic.
mhm. Right. Right. Here in the United States, it's not regulated, so
Okay.
anybody can do it, and we're not able to bill the insurance companies with that. But like as a master teacher, I'm able to give someone CE credits, unit credits for schooling. So in Texas here, and with the TDLR as a continuing education provider. So energy work counts as that if someone is doing massage therapy and they
Yeah.
would like more credits. So yeah, so we don't have that ability to bill. As I have a very good friend who's a massage therapist, and she's connected now with the VA, and she's able to get work from the VA, and they're able to come, and the insurance covers it.
Yeah, that's so cool. I've met a few massage therapists here in Montreal. They're like, oh,
Yeah,
they do Reiki and massage, but
yeah,
Reiki would
yeah.
just fall under the massage.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, as a holistic health coach, you've been out helping others, helping your clients, being of service with their challenges and struggles. But what has been the biggest challenge or struggle you have faced in your own healing journey?
Hmm. I think it's more like the lack of community.
Mm,
I had mentioned had I pretty much restarted my whole social circle here in Montreal
sure.
about 2 years ago, and I literally didn't know anyone.
Mm,
And I guess it's always been a calling to me, like, yes, to move away from my hometown and start fresh. But now that I'm actually here, I'm like, oh, everything. I guess the first year I was here, everything wasn't clicking as easy as I thought, and I got a bit discouraged. And
mhm,
especially with our really harsh winters here, I'm like,
sure.
oh man, can I even stay here? Can I even keep doing this? Um, but some ways I've tried to build community is um, before I was just doing Reiki at my home studio, but I was like, you know what? I want to get out in the community more. I want to meet faces in person, and just like coming on to this podcast, I'm like, you know what? People should know what I'm doing. What's
Sure.
up?
Very good.
and and I guess even the class that I currently teach at the studio I'm at, Vibe Well, it's something that I wish existed like a year ago when I was here, because
Yeah.
like for me like um, even like I took a trip to New York for New Year's, and my way of like, even though it was a short trip, my way of building community was like, oh, I'm gonna keep going to these yoga and meditation classes because that's what I love.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, what do you wish your younger self knew about Reiki?
The thing is, I don't think I would tell her any to do anything different or tell her any advice. It's more so I'm very, if I was talking to my younger self, I tell her like I'm really proud that you really got out of your comfort zone.
Mhm.
Thinking that spirituality, anything to do with it, beyond Buddhism was like woo woo and like not logical. It's like she took a leap, and yeah, it led me here.
Beautiful, beautiful. So you have said that you've gone out and tried to explore in different communities. You've been working with the energy for a few years now. So as you're out, as you're working and cultivating this relationship with the energy, when you're meeting other practitioners or master teachers, what are some qualities when it's maybe time for you to get that energetic tune up, or when it's time for you to seek out a teacher? What are some qualities that you look for in either a Reiki practitioner or a Reiki master teacher?
A lot of the time, it's more like your intuition and like trusting your gut. Like, how do you feel? Even like as an intuitive guide, I when I meet people, I'm very conscious and very aware like how they make me feel. Um, but beside that, I love practitioners that like love what they're doing and they're so passionate. Like they're Reiki nerds. I'm like, oh my goodness, like you're my type of people.
Yeah, yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. And sometimes the word nerd has a negative thing, but it's a
Yeah,
good thing. That just means that you're passionate about
yeah.
what you do and constantly learning and evolving and changing and keeping contemporary. Many people get the attunement and they think that's it. But, reaching out to wonderful resources that are out there. There's, like podcasts like this and magazines and books to stay relevant on things as well. So, what advice would you give someone who is just entering the spiritual work? I mean, you came from corporate and you walked away and you're, doing this wonderful and amazing work. So, what advice would you give someone?
Again, not trying to be like self promoty, but it's like if you have a local studio near you that offers meditation, or um, even if it's just like a Reiki circle, I've seen a lot in my community that are free. Like, don't be shy to attend it.
Mhm.
Even like if there are Reiki practitioners on social media, like DM us. Like, we're happy to answer your question.
Yeah,
Don't be
beautiful.
shy.
And 10 years ago, 15 years ago, this was still a real very taboo topic. And, thanks to social media, it really has spread the word about this so that it is quite relevant and thinking, oh, okay, yeah, I heard about that. They may not know in depths of it, but people are definitely aware of the word of it. So it's not so much in secrecy with it, like, oh, what's that? Or so, out
Yeah.
there. So you're coming in, if those of you that feel the calling or the inspiration to move forward with Reiki now, it's a very different atmosphere out here. When Madame Takata, she was doing this in the 40s and she had to really shift and change it to Americanize it. But now there's this freedom, glorious freedom, that you can be that individual and, do what you feel called to do if it's in service of your clients and students. So, what books do you recommend?
I'm actually rereading it right now, The Power of Now. That was actually the first spirituality book I ever read. It was it was more a suggestion from my brother.
Hmm.
He noticed when I was younger, he was like, "Hey, you kind of interrupt me when 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 he's speaking." I was like, "Yeah," but I had no idea how to stop it. And again, kind of I had mentioned when I started doing Reiki, I started to be more in my body. And even rereading it now, I'm like, wow, I can't, for me, I have to read books in very small increments. So I'm like, wow, um, each of these reading sessions kind of feel like a micro dose of
Mm,
like coming back to the present.
right. Beautiful. So, what other services do you offer? Do you offer classes, events, trainings?
Yeah. So right now I've just started with my Reiki and aromatherapy circle here in Montreal. I've started to do some online meditation classes. Like I'm very early in my Reiki career,
Mhm,
and I and for me it's like I'm looking for mentors to like, oh, what direction should I go to?
mhm.
Because before the podcast started, Tracy and I were discussing what she was doing with her podcast and what other practitioners in the field are doing. I'm like, whoa, there's like so many directions I can go into, and
Yeah.
the fact that I have my corporate background,
Mhm,
corporate wellness has been calling out to me. Um, what like the one of the companies I worked at, we would have weekly yoga practice
mhm.
for free. And like that's amazing. Like imagine like a Reiki practitioner comes every week, or just like these corporations, like I know especially like finance or like these high stress industries, like they need Reiki.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, you're being a holistic health coach, the aromatherapies, you're also doing virtual sessions as well. So, even though you're beginning your journey, you have a whole road ahead of you of opportunities, and it's wonderful as you navigate through it that there's so many resources out there, and I'll connect you with a couple other communities that you can connect with Reiki. So, yeah, beautiful. And so, where can we find you if someone's listening and they're interested in a session from you or in holistic coaching?
Yeah, right now I'm always on Instagram. It's just my
Mhm.
name, May Dong, Maydong.
Beautiful, beautiful. Uh, are they able to email you? Are they able to do online sessions as well?
I am building up my website
Beautiful.
as we speak.
Excellent, excellent. And that's what, so many that get the calling to move forward into this gift that they have had to share with the world. Many do have a struggle with the business aspect of it, but with being in corporate world and having that experience, this will help you navigate a little bit more through all of the things that many like, they're like, oh my goodness, I feel this calling. Now what do I do next? They are connected with working with as many people as they can, but then they forget, oh, social media, oh, I have to do this, I have to do promotion, I have to make flyers, I have to do all this. So there's a whole other layer to this, that the experiences that you worked for in corporate will be able to help you, move a little faster in your journey. So that is the first part of our journey. And I will continue to be your guide through the next part, which are questions from social media and Reiki students. So here we go. Number one, how did you know you were ready to leave a fast paced career in sales to embrace your calling?
That's a really good question. I actually didn't know, or I didn't want to. I
Sure.
actually kind of resisted the direction that the universe was pushing me into. This was around like post COVID. I had
Mhm.
already been starting to feel the effects. Like, huh, I am going so fast in my career. Like I had this mindset like I need to climb to the top, whether it's like work long hours or like switch positions. Like I remember I was just 23 and I was already a sales manager at this yoga company. I'm like, um, at the time, that's what I thought I wanted, but my body and just like my spirit was like, no, slow down. You don't know what you want. You don't like. I felt intuitively I didn't experience enough in life. Um, it kind of like I had like a if you're into tarot, I had like a tower moment where
Mhm.
like everything was falling apart.
Yeah.
Like I felt so I actually got sick like nothing crazy, but just like physically due to
Mm.
burnout.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't work. It was funny. I went through like this like heart-wrenching breakup at the time, but now it's just like, oh, I remember that time, but it feels so distant. And just like all these other challenges I was dealing with. And at the time, I had never worked in retail before, so I took a break from corporate. I worked at a pet store. That
Hmm.
was really cute. I really miss seeing the dogs every day, and like we would feed them treats. And okay, let me get to the point of this. I'm like my mind has like gone on a spiel. Um, what happened? Why? Do, do, do. Okay. So in that time, I was also trying to get into tech sales because something um, health tech has always called out to me too. Like I'm like, okay, I have a sales background in the wellness industry. Maybe I can jump into health tech. But my job offers kept getting rescinded. I'm like, what is this universe?
Oh, yeah.
So anyways, this kind of all aligns with me moving out here to Montreal and my career just like once I stopped resisting, it's things started to bloom.
Wonderful. Yeah. I know when the calling came, it started slow. Like I
Yeah.
used to work 10 hours a day and I was like, okay, I don't think I can do this. Then it got shortened to like 8 hours. And then I was like, yeah, I don't even want to be here in 8 hours. And then I took a job where it was like 4.75 hours a day. And when I couldn't, like, it was a struggle just to make it through that. I was like, maybe it's time for me to find something else, so it can be a slow progress, but
Yeah.
many, they're unable to because of financial, they need that income coming in. So to take that leap from that consistent job, jumping into say Reiki, where you're not, and even yoga, because I'm a yoga teacher
Cool.
as well. It's not consistent. You may not have that class of 12 students every week, right? You might fluctuate from two or to five, or some months you might have a great month, and then the next month you might not have so much. But it's just interesting. You get signs from the universe, but your point of is, you let go, you stop resisting with that.
Yeah.
So, number two, why do you believe that wellness and holistic care is important in the corporate world?
Oh my goodness. I can I can talk like all day about this. Um I think like I was at an advantage in a sense. Like I worked in the wellness industry, and like the reason why I know about yoga and I got into yoga is because I started working at a yoga company.
Of
But
course.
beyond that, I feel like even working in the wellness industry, like companies only have so much capacity to
Mhm.
teach their employees skills. Um, and I guess for me, in corporate, and even now, like doing this interview, it's like I could never imagine myself talking for this amount of time unless I was in this very like masculine corporate-y voice, like talking about the deal and closing the deal. Like I wasn't. Um, I felt like inauthentic, and because a lot of that was just me constricting to my masculine because like I was so anxious all the time.
Sure, sure, sure. So, number three, what inspired you to blend your practice, your sessions with Reiki, sound, and aromatherapy?
I think when I first started out doing private sessions, and at first I had like this set kind of recipe. I'm like, yes, it's going to be Reiki, and then I'm going to put a little bit of sound. But I'm also a musician. I write
Wonderful.
music, I play guitar, I sing. So that kind of felt boring, just doing like this linear A to Z plan I set out for my classes. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna play. I'm,
Beautiful,
I'm going to
beautiful.
use the tools that I have, and I'm excited to invest more in more sound healing instruments. Like I would love to have like a gong. Like I'd love to get more crystal sound bowls.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So that was our last question. And as we've been talking, is there anything that you have forgotten or something that you would like to share with the listeners? The floor is yours.
Uh, Nothing much other than like to anyone who's listening and like you whether you've just done a Reiki session or you're just curious and listening to this podcast, like I was there, like I knew nothing about Reiki. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna search every podcast about what this thing is. So to anyone that's like gone out of their comfort zone to try Reiki or to be open to learning more about it, I'm super proud of you.
Beautiful, beautiful. And here's the thing, listeners, if you have this calling within you, and it may not make sense to you, or you're maybe questioning versus why, you have every reason to move forward with that. So don't doubt yourself. And even ones that we would color as master teachers or experiences, they all have doubts in their journey as well. So thank you so much, May, for joining me on this Ready, Set, Reiki journey. I appreciate you taking time out of your very busy schedule to join me.
Thank you so much, Tracy. This conversation was so lovely.
Wonderful. All right, my wonderful listeners, if you would like your question featured on the podcast, reach out, www.readysetreiki.com. I'm Tracy Seawright, and this has been Ready, Set, Reiki.